When we first started living and traveling full-time in our tiny house, we had no idea what it would be like building a business while towing our house across the country. In today's video, we share our top 8 things we didn't expect traveling in our tiny house while running a digital agency.
Number 1, we didn't expect how easy it would be to get access to the internet. So when you own an online business, it's very important to have access to the internet, but not just access to the internet. It needs to be fast. If you're doing a lot of video calls, which is stuff that we do with our clients, we like to be face-to-face. You got to upload, download files, and we weren't sure how that would be. So luckily, at the beginning of our trip, we found a company who resells internet to RVers. So that's pretty much what we use.
Yeah, and we just made sure that wherever we pulled into a spot that we would always check the speed just to make sure everything was good to go, because if it wasn't, we would have had to move. But it was overall very reliable, which was very important to keep the business running while we were traveling from place to place.
We actually checked the campground and the cell tower coverage. They have maps where you could check the cell tower coverage and the signal strength. So we would always, just to be safe, we would check to make sure that the signal was good before we'd book.
And the only time we had a problem was when we pulled into a spot and there was this big rock that we were next to that blocked the signal that we couldn't know was there, obviously, until we pulled into the spot, be like, okay, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
But other than that, we honestly had reliable internet, and it was a good thing because our phones actually didn't have really good signal out west. So yeah, it was great to have that.
Another thing we didn't expect is we didn't know if it would work when it came to privacy in our workspace. So we've got a toddler, tiny house is very small, and if you're doing a Zoom call with the client, is the baby gonna be crying? For one, whenever we had calls, we would take the baby outside. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. If both of us had calls at the same time, there was nothing really much we could do about it. So we found actually that this is something our clients had gotten used to because of the pandemic. Like to say I was on a call and Taylor's stupid toy would just go, "We're playing today, la la la." It'd make some stupid noise and I'd be like, "Sorry about that, man. This is a work from home edition."
Yep.
I got kids, so nobody ever had a problem with it. So it wasn't too big of a deal.
No, every once in a while you did use the bathroom as a small office because it's the only place that has a door in our tiny house.
I used the bathroom I never used the bathroom as an office. I never used the bathroom as an office.
He brings his iPad in the bathroom.
Yeah, but that's to watch videos.
So it really did work. We actually have 2 dedicated spots. We have a space downstairs and a space upstairs, so that we could still be separate and kind of feel like we were kind of had our own space. I think the main key was that we just had to communicate with each other.
We had to review each other's schedules each day and always kept an eye on each other's calendars. We just had to coordinate it and it worked out fine. Another thing we didn't expect is if our clients would like the fact that we were traveling around in a tiny house that we built ourselves, and if that would impact the trust that they had for us. I think that it actually helped because they saw that we were consistently replying to them and we weren't, ghosting. 99% of the time we had internet. It made us look, I think, more responsible and proved that we could handle situations that might be stressful. The pipe broke off.
So it's gonna clip it back in.
Ooh. Also found it actually was a great story. And whenever I told the story, hey, we designed, engineered, and built our own tiny house on wheels and we're towing around the United States like an RV, that was something that they'd never heard before, and it helped us kind of stand out. So.
Yeah, and then also too, I remember like every single time he had a call and he had another call the same person, he would be in a different location usually. So like, oh, where you at now? Oh, I'm in Arizona. Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, Colorado's beautiful. So
it was like, where's Waldo? So where are you at today, Greg?
Yeah, exactly. I'm calling from X. So that was
fun.
Cool.
With one of our clients, they talked to me when we were in Arizona, and then when we were in Iceland, and then when we were in Florida again over a period of like 4 weeks. So that was fun.
Yeah, Iceland. Yeah, we'll go over that in another video with our little European yacht.
Another thing we didn't expect while traveling on the road with our tiny house is how crappy the smart home automations would work every time we moved.
We really thought they were gonna be like awesome and it was always gonna update.
It didn't matter where we were, whether we were in Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Colorado, Idaho, whatever previous state we were in, Google Assistant thought we were there. So none of our smart home automations worked.
Yep.
We had this cool thing set up where the lighting at certain times would dim based on the sunset of the location, and at different times of day, different notifications would go off, and none of it worked. Another thing that we didn't expect while traveling on the road is dealing with time zones. You'd think that by now, after we've traveled as much as we have, we'd get time zones figured out, but no, it's a pain in the butt. It's so hard to coordinate time zones.
I mean, even just being off like an hour to 2 to 3 hours, which, you know, traveling out west, that's what it was. I kept second guessing myself, being like, wait a minute, is my call at X? Because I didn't trust the location sometimes. So I was like, oh my gosh, what time really is it?
I didn't expect how crappy Google and Apple stuff would be when it came to updating time zones when you move through them frequently. It doesn't update automatically, and it's just a total pain. So to me, that was completely unexpected. I thought that it would be a lot smoother than that. We had to overcome it and make up for it, and we did, but it was still a total pain. Another thing we didn't expect is how much we would actually enjoy it. I was prepared to hate it.
You were prepared to hate it.
I thought we wouldn't like it. It was just a thing that we committed to, and we wanted to experiment with. We had a lot of fun. We actually really liked it.
Yeah, I felt like we just kind of locked into a routine. It took about a month or two to kind of do that. Then once we established what each role was and our responsibilities, we just kind of locked into it and then had our day-to-day. And it was honestly really nice to come back to our little house. Like, even though like our spot and location changed, we loved opening the door once we were set in and settled in for the night. It was just, it felt really great. Now, there were some tough parts, but overall, I felt like it worked really well.
Fried chicken, get your fried chicken. Another thing we didn't expect is how many people would think this was a food truck. I don't know how many times we pulled into a gas station and people would be like, you cook out of that thing? Barbecue ribs or something?
That's 3, right?
Would you like some fries with that, ma'am? We're closed! Another thing we didn't expect is how much support we would get from other people. It was a blast, not only just driving around in this thing and having people wave, especially when we put the sign up, man. We felt like celebrities wherever we went. People would come up in the RV parks and, you know, say hi and ask us about it. And while we were driving down the road, I think every single day that we were driving somewhere, people would wave and honk, and that was a lot of fun.
There was actually people who would come and knock on our door and like ask us, can we look inside? You know, and like, yeah, please come on in. Some people were like, I felt like I was gonna be rude, you know, I didn't wanna like bother you guys, but oh my gosh, what is that? You know, what we're doing is a little bit outside the box, but
outside the box.
A little, just a little. A lot of people build tiny houses, but not very many travel with them.
A lot of them will buy like a kit.
Yeah.
Or they'll hire a builder, but we did all of that ourselves. We designed it ourselves, we engineered it and built it ourselves, and towed it around the country.
Yeah, so it definitely stuck out as unique, and also I felt like we got a lot is, didn't expect the attention it would get.
And how supportive and interested people would be in it. That was really cool and unexpected.
Those are our top things we didn't expect while traveling in our tiny house while running a digital agency. If you want a little more of our story, we did a video on that about just the build process, and also you can take a peek inside. All right, so stay tuned for more videos.
Might be time to change the oil.